Hey guys, we're at Browns Camp OHV in Oregon.
Welcome to the Great American Crawl.
I totally lied on the last video, but that's all right. We're here, we're having a good time. Party. My Jeep's still tied to a tree in the backyard without a clutch, so she's sitting out on this one.
So Browns Camp's pretty big. That's like the main comment everyone has about when they come to Browns Camp. It's just large. It spans like a ton of mileage. You'll have a lot of like logging roads and logging trails to and from each obstacles, but in between all those are easier trails that anyone can do with any tire size, and they're fun, and a little bit of weaving through the woods and going over some stumps and stuff. But then there's a couple party obstacles that we like to call. There's probably like 5 or 6 big party spots.
This reminds me a lot of Windrock. So you get down to your kind of base area, and then you drive probably a good 25-30 minutes, and then you're at a trail. So there's a good amount of space between the obstacles. There's a good amount of elevation. So I hit it 2-3 times, didn't feel great, so I took the right-hand side, which wasn't really a bypass, but it was nice, kind of bounced up that. So that was a great start. Like, you drive a bit here, but the obstacles and just the trail lengths are phenomenal.
Yeah, so you roll up right to it and you're already on an incline, and then there's a massive rock face right in front of you and you're like, oh my goodness. There's an undercut right at the bottom of it as well, so you're not only fighting the wet on your rear tires slipping, you're fighting this undercut to get up onto the face of this rock to actually pull yourself up. So you kind of rely on your front tires to catch and hook and then pull you up the rest of the way.
I feel like Kelsey's almost like double my wheelbase.
Yeah, I have a 130-inch wheelbase.
Yeah,
She's a big old girl.
I think definitely for the ledges and like some of these like steep climbs, the wheelbase is just, it'll make or break it, to be honest. Like I can't do some of the stuff that she's done out here, and she makes it look so easy.
I mean, Brian had really bad luck and bounced bad and blew up a drive shaft. And I'd actually done that same, that's like one of the few things like on the trail I've broken. I've done that same thing, same obstacle like a year or 2 ago.
I felt so bad. He was like the second one to go up, third one go up, and he was just running out.
Super nice rig too. He would have done really well all weekend. That's a bummer.
Do you want it?
Nut me, dog.
What?
Nut me, dog.
Heather, can you grab the drive shafts?
Got it.
There you go. Here's your prize.
I'm gonna need you to hold that all the way back.
All the way back. I got it.
Who's in
that's
YJ?
Scott in the leaf sprung YJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott.
He hit the left line.
Hard.
Yes.
Hard.
He got bouncy.
He usually drives like that and has no issues, and he's just like good to go. And then he's like, oh yeah, I didn't even look at it since last time, and it's good to go. I'm like, dang it, Scott, how do you do that?
We come up with a bolt to him, he's like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I ended up flying out. I live in Florida, and there was no way I was going to get my Jeep from one corner of the country to the other. I got out here Thursday night, and I was lucky enough to have the Icon Jeep. Was able to wheel that all weekend.
I've never gotten it.
He got rowdy.
I tried.
Very rowdy.
I shouldn't have. That was like the first stop.
Yeah.
Number one, day one.
Like what, like 20 minutes in?
Yeah. It's like, what? Not good. And there's always a mud puddle at the bottom. And it's not just mud, it's like mud, oil, grossness.
John Martinson is an animal. He's had several Fiats, and each time he's so talented, and he like builds up and, you know, makes the next one even better and makes the next one even better. It's a, I want to say, turboed K series, and so it is fast. It has rear steer. It just, everywhere he points that thing, man, and he's one hell of a driver. He just has no issue. That thing is a machine.
And he had told me, he's like, oh, I'm not gonna, you know, this is the first thing the rig's done. It's completely untested. Literally got finished at 3 in the morning this morning. I'm not gonna hit it hard. Rev limiter, like 3rd gear. And he hit the face of Waterfall and made it. That was like the first thing that rig did. I mean, it's a 2-year build, and then he hits like one of the big obstacles here at his local home park. It was just, I was so stoked for him.
So most parks, the obstacles are very close, and you can go like bang, 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 one to another, but Browns Camp is very, very spread out. You need a map, 100%. Do not come here without a map. It's so easy to get lost. It's so easy to lose your bearings, and there's so many logging roads that connect, and they're very spread out. We had trail guides for all the trails to get there, so yeah,
the locals were like super helpful. They knew these trails really well, and I think that really made the experience better.
Oh, that's big.
What was crazy though is like, so he led off into there, and I walked up there expecting him, because the hardest part of that is usually at the start of that obstacle, and I walked up there and I was like, where's he at? And I was like, oh, he's way up there. I couldn't believe how far he got. I was like, how did you get up there? He's like, I don't know, it just kept going. And I think he was all jazzed up and riled up and super excited, and then he just, a very violent series of hops that finally found a weak link for him.
I see that's a common trend for him.
Yeah.
A little hoppy.
Yeah.
A little separated.
What's that? So Ryan, you got tools, right?
Honestly, when you first kind of look at can opener, it didn't look too bad until you get up to it and then realize there's like a huge hole before this boulder, and then you kind of have to go up the left side to get around it so you don't get caught up in it, and then there's like a little bit of like another ledge and then a rock garden. And so it didn't look too bad, but it was only when you're on the right line. Because if you slipped off just a little bit, like you're kind of in a pickle.
There was someone that had some winch action in there too, wasn't there?
The Icon Jeep, we had a little bit of winch on the Icon Jeep.
we had a locker issue. I think it's internal. The air locker and the front locker just completely went out. So turned the switch on and the pump just ran. So we didn't really have a front locker. The rear locker worked probably about 80% of the time. The other times it was leaking as well. So if we wouldn't have had that issue, I think we would have done a lot better. It did. I was surprised it went where it went for a short arm kit with coils and shocks. I think after cane opener, we just decided kind of to lay back a little bit.
That's another one where it's been a while since I've made that, and we had some really nice traction. A couple guys got in there and went right through.
You're my hero. My mouth's speaking.
I think that was the first time I've seen Kelsey have a little bit of a struggle. She just kind of sunk right in.
Did good on that one.
Like real sunk in.
Yeah.
It was good.
I just got mired in right between two boulders, just the perfect distance between my front diff and my rear diff, and I could not go anywhere. And I was like, well, dang it, that doesn't usually happen. Stuck. So they actually hooked up to my rear diff. I have a D-ring right on the front of my, or right on the top of my truss, and so they hooked up to that, and they were able to pull my axle over the boulder that I was kind of like wedged onto.
Just a huge cloud of dust at one point. Like he was hitting the rev limiter, like just giving it all the beans, trying to get up that thing. And I was like, wonder how we're gonna do, you know? Because like he's pretty long, his wheelbase, and his front tires were up there. And I was like, that's weird, they're not grabbing.
Nope, we tried it. We tried it.
Little Rubicon, it used to, I mean, it's always had kind of the two, but the right line used to never really like be even feasible. So when I heard that people were doing that right side, I was like, no way.
I gotta try it.
I gotta try it. And I mean, it's still pretty gnarly. I did not make it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna back up before I blow something up.
When I got very far left, I was kind of able to just hit it pretty hard. I was third gear in low range, and it was enough wheel speed and was able to grab and pull me over, which is just my favorite thing on the planet.
Seven Up's a blast. Like there's not like boulders, it's just like a rock face at like a super steep incline on the top of this already steep hill, on the top of this already steep cliff. So it's a lot of steep things added together. I just kind of get on there and make sure I feel all stable and good to go. And then I know I just need to punch it. So I back up and I hit it. So pumped. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some words and some excitement. My bad.
Yes! Yes! Yeah, doggy! Woo!
He blew it out of the water. Like, he really set the bar high for that one because he just made it look really easy. Like, it was kind of entertaining in a way and really easy at the same time.
And then I'm like, so there's a left line, a center line, and a right line look really sketchy. So you come up probably 100 yards of all loose, like shale and like deadfall. So there's no traction to it. So anyway, I get up there, I get tired, take 2 or 3 decent attempts at it, wasn't feeling it. I back down.
And Nick went up there and kind of tried to crawl it, which didn't work, and then attempted the center, and then actually committed to it. Got on that first lip, kind of where you got on.
After that first ledge, though, he couldn't really get past that. You know, I don't know if it was the size of the tires or just the wheelbase or the mix of the two, but he was having a hard time. So we ended up winching him up the rest of the way on that one.
Yep.
So that's when we hooked up a winch and kind of pulled him up over, just a little bit over that second lip.
Yep. So he's always wanted to do 7-up. He's been in with me when we've done 7-up, but his old rig, he's tried it. I think he's winched up it. We've done competitions on it, but like he's never driven it over his own power. And this is a full new rig for him.
I don't feel very right.
And he did say, let's pull a winch at one time.
Cable.
So I walk over to grab the line and we realize his line's hooked up to his suck down. So we couldn't, I was like, hey, you can't do it, dude. I was like, you're fine, just listen to me, we got it. And then I love this. This was probably my favorite part of the whole weekend, to be perfectly honest.
On my way, just easy, let's see what she does. Nothing crazy.
Dude, just slowly crawl, it'll grip. And I just watched the tire just slow turn and it gripped. And it just pulled him straight out of his little weird little lightness, sucked it down, pulled it right up.
That did not feel good. Oh, you had it. Good.
The two local guys took the out-of-towners to school, so it was cool though. It was, sometimes you live to fight another day, right? I'm not trying to roll my vehicle, so.
And you're looking at the whole hill and you're like, wow, okay, this is all gonna suck. Crushers is Brown's Camp's claim to fame almost. When I think of Brown's Camp, I think of Crushers.
There's an entrance and there's an exit and there's just rocks as far as you can see.
Everywhere, it's like a sea of vehicles just trying different lines. It was pretty cool to see.